Uncharted. This is a film adaptation based on the video game of the same name. Little rundown here. I've played one of the Uncharted games. It was the last one, A Thief's End, which came with my PS4 when I bought it. I really liked it. I liked it so much, I actually went back and did a little rundown, got a little history lesson of the Uncharted games. And I remember reading up on them and watching videos and thinking, God, this is really perfect for a film adaptation. You could have something really special here. And I like Tom Holland. He's the starring actor in this movie, fresh off of Spider-Man No Way Home, which is one of the biggest movies of all time. And a lot of things about this movie were making me think it wasn't going to be very good. This thing has been in production hell or pre-production hell forever. I think they've been trying to make this since 2008. It's been delayed quite a bit, mainly because of COVID, but sometimes not so much because of COVID. I think that they didn't have a lot of faith in this. It has not gotten very good reviews. I think as of the time of this review, it's 39%, I think, on Rotten Tomatoes. So I came into this very kind of nervous, like I really hope this isn't a disaster. And the movie started, and 10 minutes in, I was invested, and I was like, wow, I'm liking this so far. Like that, you got to do that, man. You got to hook me from the beginning or else I'm going to get bored. And there's a lot of bumps in the road, but I like this movie. I'm very surprised, and I'm surprised by the reception it's gotten. This is like a surface level fun film. It's a fun little adventure movie, and it has flaws and it has problems, but I enjoyed this, man. I'm recommending this movie. I think it's actually quite a bit of fun. Somebody at some point needs to do a case study about Tom Holland and what it is that makes him maybe the most likable actor in Hollywood right now. I made a prediction when I reviewed Devil All the Time, and I bring this up all the time, but where I said that Tom Holland was going to be one of the 5 biggest movie stars of my lifetime. And, I might have lowballed it. He might be top 2 or 3. I know he doesn't look like Nathan Drake, and he's probably a bit too young for the role, but who cares? Like, I think sometimes we really go a little bit too far in regards to fandom and casting of certain roles. Like, now sometimes there's fan backlash and it's justified, but sometimes people just bitch to bitch. Like, how many people freaked out when Heath Ledger got cast as the Joker? How many people got mad when Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston were cast as Thor and Loki, respectively? Like, sometimes we get it wrong, and I think this is a case in which a lot of people got it wrong. Tom Holland's great. He carries this, and as an actor, there's so many admirable things about him. I mean, outside of the obvious charisma, like, he does a lot of his own stunts. He's one of those actors who seems to have chemistry with almost anyone that he's working with, and that leads me to the co-star of this, Mark Wahlberg as Sully. Now, this is where I do understand the backlash for the casting, because Sully in the games, he's like kind of an older, he's like a grandfatherly type. Like, this is where you hire or cast I'm just going to throw out a random mustache, maybe the most famous mustache, like a Tom Selleck or a Sam Elliott. But when you're watching the movie, which I did, I actually saw the movie, unlike some other people who are going to just complain to complain, you realize that casting an older actor in this role, I think it would have been silly, because Mark Wahlberg has there's a lot of physicality to this role. And as much as I love the 2 actors I just named, I think it might look a little weird if Sam Elliott was flying a helicopter, and fighting people for treasure. I think they actually kind of got it right. And even beyond all that, whether or not you agree with the casting, what matters is the chemistry among the actors, and these two work really well off each other. There are moments in this movie that reminded me of a Marvel movie, and the fact that there's good character moments, and there's good back and forth, and there's moments that made me chuckle, and there's an honest-to-God sense of adventure, and there's an honest-to-God sense of fun. There's nothing about this that's offensive. There's nothing about it that's necessarily ugly or terrible. It's not vapid. There's real effort put into this, and it seems like there's been backlash. I'll be honest, I think this is going to be a big hit. And I think we're going to get a sequel to it because I think it's a fun movie. Now, okay, I'm praising it. I like the actors. I like the sense of adventure. I think it's fun. But I'm going to slow my roll a little bit here. This is not some flawless movie by any means. There are little things about it that bother me. There's a fight scene in a Papa John's, and they make note. Mark Wahlberg's on the phone. He goes, "Hey, guys, I'm in a Papa John's, right now, okay?" And then hangs up the phone. That stuff bothers me. There's a product placement for Bubblicious bubble gum. But the first hour of this, I really enjoyed, and I was into it. There's that part in the second act. I feel like this happens with a lot of movies where it slows down. It is a dumb movie. This thing is completely implausible. I'm not going to act like it isn't. The way that you make up for that is you keep the pace moving. You keep the ball rolling. Prime example of that, there's a movie, a foreign film from, I believe, 2001 called Run, Lola, Run. Silly movie, but Lola ran like a motherfucker, and you kind of ignored the fact that this premise is a little bit silly. There are moments in which you are reminded of how implausible this is. And the biggest issue I have with this movie, because I do enjoy it, but the biggest issue is I don't think it's particularly memorable. I enjoyed the characters, but they don't jump off the screen. I liked the adventure, but it's not overwhelmingly amazing. I thought the action was fun, but there's a lot of CG, and there's not really any action sequences that made me go, wow. They all just made me go, okay, that was pretty fun. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, but for the time being, as of February, whatever it is, mid-February 2022, I enjoyed the Uncharted movie. I would say if you have time on a matinee on a weekend, see it in theaters. I saw this on a big screen. I saw this on an RPX screen in Lansing, Michigan, and it was fun. I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. It's a good movie. Yeah, it's good. Pat yourselves on the back, everybody. Like, this was an enjoyable experience. I feel like I don't have many of those watching movies. I love Jackass, but Jackass, that almost doesn't count. It's not a narrative film. I did love it. It'll probably make my top 10 list, but this one's different. I enjoyed it. I like Uncharted. 7 out of 10. So yeah, go ahead and call me crazy, but it's a fun film. That'll do it for this review. You can follow me on Twitter at Castellani2014. While you're at it, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get those watch hours up. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Peace and happiness.